Quahoon, it's Jurassic June! Again! So a certain pushy fan has taken it upon himself to remind me that it's Jurassic June and that I haven't put up a new dinosaur video. Not that I was planning to, but this particular fan is kinda hard to say no to. Side note, if you don't get that Quahoon reference, don't worry about it. There will be a link at the end of the video to last year's Jurassic festivities if you missed out. Go watch it! KA-ZAR, Lord of the Savage Land, wearer of jean shorts. Sorry, I might have considered doing part of the Frank Cho Jungle Girl omnibus that's not due to arrive at my doorstep for another 2 days. Whap whap. But fear not, fine faithful viewers, I shan't let you down in the fair lass fur bikini department. Ah, dang it, if I had thought of it, I could have done the preview comic. Man, that would have been super easy, like 4 pages of boobs, dinos, and jungle. Hey man, these reviews are a lot of work, but you deserve more. Apparently, he's not the first character to be called KA-ZAR. Just based on a brief search, there seems to be some funny business with his origins. Oh, Stan. KA-ZAR ran from 1997 to 1999. If you're a longtime viewer, you'll remember him from my Spider-Man Savage Land Saga review. And you'll also remember his wife, Shanna. Shanna? I think we settled on Shanna. In the Savage Land. Also, you'll remember the Savage Land from the Pizza Man. The Pizza Hut X-Men comic review. I guess we've started hanging out in the Savage Land a fair amount as of late. Alright, I'm starting. Oh my god, this ad is so 90s. Here's our list of comic slaves this time around. First off, let me address the elephant in the room. Or Mastodon, as it were. I don't like Mark Waid. From the different stories I hear about his behavior over the years from other professionals in the industry, and the nonsense with Richard C. Meyer and his interference with the Jawbreakers comic, allegedly, I find the man to be disgusting and infantile. However, doing the retro comic review show, it's almost impossible not to cross paths with the man sometimes, just based on the sheer amount of work he has done. So we will make every effort to separate the story from the writer, because we never really cared about them in the past anyway. The comic starts off with this partially cyborgy looking dude summoning this overly dramatic looking barbarian guy to his penthouse, and I'm wondering what the bus ride over must have looked like. Cyborg says that Conan here is Gregor, the same man that trained Craven the Hunter, who I have no experience with besides maybe the cartoon and action figure back in the day. Gregor asks why he's been brought there, and Cyborg says it's to kill him. Gregor spins into action, beating the tar out of an invisible guard who tumbles off the roof only to be caught. He thanks Gregor, who says a body from a high-rise would only cause a commotion, and snaps his neck instead. Cyborg is impressed, and deems Gregor worthy of his task. Go to the Savage Land and kill Kevin Plunder, aka KA-ZAR, Lord of the Jungle. Yeah, Lord of the Jungle. Lord of the Savage Land. Cool Borders! It's no SSX tricky. Savage Land, yes! Rallycross. Today, a stampede of villagers precedes a stampede of dinosaurs as KA-ZAR bursts from the jungle riding a T-Rex. That doesn't look anything like you. Man, some people just gotta see themselves in everything. I have no idea what Zabu, KA-ZAR's loyal saber-tooth tiger, is doing here. KA-ZAR was out shopping for dinner when he saw the T-Rex bearing down on the village and knew he had to act. Adorable and sad. Is he eating compies? The T-Rex is out of control and has to be stopped as KA-ZAR uses his last resort, stabbing the Rex in the eye? The T-Rex hits the ground hard and KA-ZAR becomes tangled in his dinner lines as a pair slide for the edge of a cliff. Luckily, Zabu knocks him loose just in time, somehow. Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. The knife to the eyeball was probably just a scratch, and I'm sure he fell into a nice cool river at the bottom. Oh, also, Zabu and KA-ZAR can apparently converse with each other, which I approve of. They come across an argument between 2 native tribes, and it turns out they've been playing baseball, and they're trying to figure out the infield fly rule. Funny. Hottie Boobalati Shanna shows up on the scene and the tribe scatter. She guilts him for still having attachments to the outside world, and says when they came to the Savage Land they agreed to give all that up. Nag, nag, nag.
Right, men?
They land back at their swinging treehouse pad, still arguing about the dangers of introducing elements of the outside world to the Savage Land, and greet their nanny Zira and their boy Matthew. I really like this shot. He says that the outside world can at least make durable pants, and she references the skin of the Levisaurus, which makes no sense, but I find it amusing. Apparently he has the compy dinner rope, even though he didn't have it in the baseball scene. Whatever. Pow! Sega Saturn! I have kind of a horrific photo of this from an earlier delayed camera reaction. It's their anniversary, and I'm pretty sure Candles violates the same thing she's been bitching at him about. She gives him the necklace and says the shape and color have definite symbolism, but never explains what that is, and then they proceed to get jiggy with it, as the kids like to say nowadays. Elsewhere, Gregor is harassing the natives and stealing their souls with his silver LMS Polaroid 600 camera. Boom! Soul Blade! Seriously, what is it with game ads always having microscopic pictures of gameplay? The chief stands up to Gregor and is instantly blasted into a pile of ash, which also radicalizes the tribe, and Gregor starts passing out the weapons like candy bars on Halloween. KA-ZAR and Zabu are having a conversation when suddenly Zabu is down and KA-ZAR is on the run. M&M Mini subscribe today. The tribe is hesitant to follow KA-ZAR into the thick brush and they have every right to be. Bwap! The gray guys are down when suddenly KA-ZAR's vine is cut. Ka-choom! Another brief chase as they follow him into a clearing. He punches them in the faces as he swings from a vine and they're pulled down into a tar pit. It's finally over when he's yanked off his feet by the necklace anniversary present. The rope finally snaps and he lays this horny guy out. Zabu. Zabu is most likely dead as Gregor watches on from high. A little preview for the series, some bonkers Batman action figures, Carnage Heart with some more tiny game images, and done. And that's it for the comic. I'll see you next time. Alright. Let's wrap up the 3-issue mini arc then. So pushy. So quite cleverly, the story picks up in issue number 2, with KA-ZAR back home consoling a bandaged up Zabu, who's in surprisingly good shape considering. Rubbing palm fronds into his wound seems to have done the trick. He reminisces about Zabu being his oldest friend in the Savage Land, when he was left there when Shanna comes in asking questions about what happened. Does she wear the knife everywhere? Like, everywhere? KA-ZAR asks Zero to watch the kid even though Shanna is right there, then leaps into action with his protruding sternum to go find out who's behind the attacks. KA-ZAR talks to himself about how the Savage Land is full of magic elixirs that can make a man stronger, as Gregor mixes together some dirt and grass clippings and talks about sending the tribesmen on a mission, but has no way of communicating with them from a distance. He has no way of communicating with them from a distance? What the hell is this mechanical monstrosity he's riding on? Riding throne was too big. Not enough room in the suitcase for walkie-talkies. Well, lucky for him, the tribesmen killed a rival tribe and took the walkie-talkies that KA-ZAR had given to that chief. Uh-oh. Gregor takes a drink, keels over, pitches a fit, and I guess he's stronger now. Certainly got more veins in his neck. Meanwhile, Matthew discovers KA-ZAR's 90s parental advisory CD collection, and despite Shanna's rage, she's still just a rat in a cage. Gregor is hanging out, waiting for an update when KA-ZAR gets the drop on him. There's a brief exchange where KA-ZAR tells him the jungle is his home and that he has all the advantage here. He dares Gregor to follow him and, oh yeah, this is what we're here for. Gorgeous! They tumble off the brachiosaurs into a geyser field and Gregor is blasted skyward again. Unfortunately, KA-ZAR has lost him in the steam as a gun lowers into frame. Meanwhile, back at the treehouse, treachery! The evil tribesmen kick in the door and Zira springs into action, knocking the primitive snot out of the intruders. She holds her own for a while till she's overtaken by the crowd, and little Matthew is spirited away out the door. Man, they really missed out on a sweet CD collection in the next room. Back at another hopeless cause, Gregor takes aim just as Zabu springs forth from the mists. Shanna is on the scene to save her husband. Ah, damn it, Zabu. Gregor takes off, booking it for his sky sled parked nearby. KA-ZAR hits him with an illegal tackle and they square off again. Gregor waxes on about how under other circumstances he could have trained KA-ZAR to be even better. I'm not sure how that works, because when we've already established that he's better in the Savage Land than you are even with your magical dirt and grass clippings. I love shots like this in comics where you can have all this blank space and just have a simple little drawing that implies a lot. In this case, it gives the sense that maybe they're very high up. Love it. Gregor grabs the child from his crony and blasts off on his sky sled. I did not notice Shanna swinging. Shanna? We went with Shanna, right? I did not notice Shanna there. That's pretty funny. KA-ZAR throws a line at the last second and they're off to dizzying heights as Gregor takes KA-ZAR on the ride of his life. Boom! 90s Conan had. I have one of these comics and for some reason the others are extremely hard to find. It's got the most ridiculous 90s artwork in it and I absolutely love it. That doesn't really look like you either. The aileron on the vehicle snaps and KA-ZAR falls as the sky sled loses control, blasting forth from the Savage Land into the surrounding Antarctica, meeting its drunken end in the frozen wastes. That's kind of a weird looking image. Please stop tapping my shoulder. I'm sorry, what? You want to do the last one? The last what? Comic? I don't think people want to sit here for 4 minutes listening to a T-Rex growl out the events of the final Alright, jeez, do it then, you overgrown turkey vulture. Be my guest. Yeah, I didn't know who they were either. Yeah, man, she starts getting kind of annoying with the constant guilt trip. I get they lost their kid and she's freaking out, but I hope she's better in the later issues. What the hell is up with his leg? What? You want me to finish up? You sure? Alright. So they drag Gregor back to the Savage Land after stripping him naked. Pretty sure that would kill him. And apparently the guilt trip laid on him for 3 issues did their trick as KA-ZAR reconsiders his purchase of Nirvana's In Utero album. Shanna and Ziva go to work interrogating their prisoner, and it's revealed that the person who hired Gregor was none other than... KA-ZAR's brother, Partival Plunder, in New York. Oh crap. They're gonna go to New York and there's not gonna be any more dinosaurs in this series, is there? Anyway, Shanna talks about how she and KA-ZAR will go to New York and how Ziva will watch the kid till they get back, and presumably get rid of the body. All the while, KA-ZAR is in the other room, destroying devices that my dumb nostalgia gland is telling me I'd pay an arm and a leg for now. There's the sound of rending metal, and Shanna finally goes to look at what all the noise is, only to discover KA-ZAR's gone already. And that's it. To be continued in another part of the world that is completely lacking in dinosaurs. I intend to keep reading these because obviously I love dinosaurs and cave people, but I hope they just go to New York and come right back to the Savage Land. There are action figures, mostly of Shanna for some weird reason, but I'm not gonna go into it. I have this one, and like most of this line, the joints are not great, but at least it's a cave woman, and that's like a unicorn of action figures. So what, if anything, did I learn from this comic that I could apply to my own comic? There wasn't anything that really jumped out at me this time around. I'm still working on spotting blacks to help make the panels read better. The only thing I did kind of notice was some of the action movements through the frames. I'm always a big fan of good movement between the panels, and I will always stress continuity. Make sure if your dude has a rope of compies to eat for dinner in one panel, they're there in all the previous panels. Or in my case, backpacks and swords. So what'd you think of the comic? We skipped the ads on the second two mostly to just keep the story moving. I agree. It needs a lot more dinosaurs. Those splash pages are pretty cool though. I think next year I'll definitely choose a cave girl heavy story though. Or I could review those Tops, Cadillacs, and dinosaur comics I mentioned in last year's video. We'll see. But there will definitely be cave girls. Alright guys, we're gonna get out of here and go share a goat.
Where's the goat?
Please like, share, and subscribe. Social media links are below. I'll be back soon with a new video. If you want to check out snippets from my own cartoony sci-fi comic series, Smacked in the Head the Animated Series, hopefully crowdfunding soon, there's a link in the description below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.
Dodgson,
Dodson! We've got Dodson here!